Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Hilltop Pillbox here in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. And we are ready to do our giveaway that we advertised a couple of weeks ago. And here are the handles of all the people who joined our little contest here. So thanks so much. You folks gave me a lot of great information, great ideas, and obviously we're sharing that with the community at large. Now, the contest was for either this great big 1939 map or with underneath, I can't lift it up right now, but the 1936 map. And you could have either size from the the smaller one. I think people were calling it the regular size or normal size, and then you have the large or jumbo size. So these ones here are the large, the 8 feet by 4 feet, and the smaller ones I think are about 3 feet by 6 feet, give or take. These are also generously being donated by Doug from Historical Board Gaming. He really wants to say a big thank you to the community for all the support, and he's going to do that through one of these draws. And I know Historical Board Gaming does their own, and I know they really support General Hand Grenade quite a bit, and Young Grasshopper. And other people in the community. So folks, just in the past couple of years, I've only been doing this for a couple of years now, I've really noticed that everybody is just so friendly and so helpful. So we YouTubers who do stuff like this, we're always looking for ways to give back. You know, most of us aren't very wealthy by any means, and we're just workaday folks who just want to spread the love around, but Historical Board Gaming certainly jumped in and helped out with that. So now here's the deal with this giveaway. As I had given you, I asked you for 5 pieces of information. I had asked you for what's your introductory game or favorite game. I kind of piggybacked those two. To play, to introduce new people. What tactic do you use to get people to the table? And what your success rate is. So that's 3 pieces there. And then I also asked, did you want the 1936 or 39? And did you want small or large? So if we look up here, we can see that information. So on the left, well, we got your name, of course, and we got 36, 39, small or large, intro or favorite game, the tactic you use, and the success and percentage. Now, as I got the first few coming in, a couple of people gave me all 5, but then a lot of people were only giving me 1 thing or 2 things, sometimes 3. And I thought, well, shoot, how can I do the giveaway in a fair way? Because as a teacher, I like to award the students who do what's requested, and I don't like just giving nothing to people who maybe brought in some of the work, but maybe missed a couple things, or maybe missed 1 thing. You know, you're gonna feel it on the grade, of course, but I still accept what you've given me. So what I thought I would do for this whole thing is just make the odds a little better for those who gave me all of the answers required. And so here's a little thing I just came up with. I think it'll speak well to this. So we've got the info given, we've got 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, or 5 points, and then the die that's going to be rolled for that group, 12, 10, 8, 6, and 4. So the odds with the info, so as the info increases, your odds increase of actually being one of the chosen ones. Now this is going to take a little while, so I want you to buckle up, and we're going to do this from the 1s down to the 5s. And we'll see how people do as we go forward here. This is going to take a little bit of time. I want you to stay with me though, and we'll show you how this goes. Okay, so for the 1s, we're using the D12, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 people who only gave the single piece of information. Usually it's what their favorite game was. All right. So I'm going to roll this die 1 to 8. I'll count it off and I'll show you who won. And if it's a 9 to 12, well, we don't have that many, so nobody from the 1 group would win. All right. So here goes the roll. It's a D. A D. So we go over here and we see we got the first one, second one. Okay, so Boo Boo Squid, you're into the next round. All right, so Boo Boo Squid is into the next round. Now, what that check mark does, it adds 1 to Boo Boo Squid's score. So Boo Boo Squid just became a 2. So now he's going to join all the, or she, I kind of don't know how many girls would call themselves Boo Boo Squid, but maybe. So we're going to now do the 2s here. So I'm going to have to add up the 2s, and then we're going to roll the D10. And we're going to have to roll it a few times, I think, because at least a couple times, because we've got a lot of 2s. So here we go. We're just going to roll for the first grouping. Oh, 1. Okay, so I don't know how to pronounce that. It's like Mameplosa. So I'm going to give you a check mark. That means you're on to the next round. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boo Boo Squid would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these ones here are now all out of the running. Sorry, folks. Thanks for playing. But you're out of the running. The ones are out of the running, of course. Okay. So hopefully this is making sense to everybody. Now we're going to do the next set of 2s. We got a 3. So we'll look at our next 2s. We go 1, 2, 3. So Black Kaiser, you just became a 3. And that's 1, 2, 3. So we got to get rid of that. This is tough to do on my own, but here we go. 1, 2, 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So that's 2 is the last one there. All right. Now we got to do the next grouping of 10. So we'll just roll. This is a 10. A 0, of course, is a 10 on a D10. So we're going to go to our 10th one. So we'll just start crossing them off here. So that's 1. I'm not a lefty. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 left here, if I counted correctly, but we'll just roll. So we got a 6. It's a 6 on that. So we're going to head down here. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, oh my goodness, I don't know how to pronounce that. It could be Sisio Pasticcio or Siccio Pasticcio. I don't know, but hey, you're in. So you're going to go on to the next round, and all the 2s here are now gone. All right, so that's going to turn all the check marks I just did there, they're going to turn into 3s. All right. So now our 3s. We're going to be using a D8 for this one. Okay, so the 3s and the upgraded 2s who came along with. Here we go. So we got a 6. So we'll do our 3s here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like Brian Taylor, looks like you're into the next round, Brian. And so that's 6 out of 8. So we got to take out 2 more 3s here. So 1 and 2. All right. I'll roll for the 3s again in our 8. And we got a 3. So we're going to head over to this sheet. So we got a 3. So we go 1, 2, and looks like Tommy Adams is our fellow going on to the next round. So that's 3. We got to get rid of 3 more, or 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more threes. All right, so here we go. Okay, so we rolled a 5, and we'll just make sure again. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so none of those are going to win because of the odds wanting to stay the same, and there's just not enough people there. Okay. Okay, sorry for the hiccup there, folks. You may have noticed, especially those of you who had been upgraded from the last round, from 2s to 3s, I didn't include you in those dice rolls. So what I did was I went back, turned the 2s into 3s, and then I am going back and I rolled a 5 with the, or an 8. I guess that was a D8 at that point. Yeah. And I'd rolled a 5 at the end. And we only had 4 here. So now what I'm going to do is go back and find the first one that is actually a 3 that didn't get included, and that would be right here. So that'd be 5, and then going along we have 6, and then we had 7. Okay, so they went from 2s to 3s because they got picked in the round of 2, but when we got to the round of 3, the one that's going to move forward here for the second time is Mame Losa. I know I'm saying that wrong, but we're just going to do this and turn you into a 4 just so I don't forget. All right, so we're moving forward here with our all of our 4s, and you can see that I've turned the 3 here into a 4 and the 3 here into a 4, wanting to keep on top of things this time. This is actually more confusing than I wanted it to be, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come out in the wash. I think we're going to be fine. I'm just going to get rid of all the ones like there. So now we're on to 4s. 4s using a D6. And there's not a ton of 4s, but there's a few. So this could take a little while. So here we go. So we got our 4s, and we're going to roll. And we got a 4 on the 4. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tiny Tiger 87. You are into the next round. It's going to be the final round. So you are now a 5. Okay, so that's a 4. So that was the 4, and we got to go to 6 because it's a D6. So sorry, Brian Taylor, who moved up from the 3s. Yeah, you won't be going on. And here we go with the next roll. Okay, so it's a nickel there. We got a 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Robert, could be Huff, Robert Howell, I'm not sure. But Robert, you are through. And we got to take out one more 4 here. All right. All right, carrying on. Oh, mystery, it's a 2. All right. So we got 2s for the 4. So we got a 1, 2. So Brian Bruns. I hope it's not Burns and I wrote it down incorrectly. I was tired when I got this done. So hopefully, but I think it's Brian Bruns. All right. So that's 1, 2. So you became a 5. I should turn Robert into a 5 here. I am not left-handed, people. Here we go. So that's 1, 2. And we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Here we go. Another 5. 5. So we're going to go to 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dirk Van Moerk. You are going through. You are now a 5. And then 6. We got to get rid of one more 4. Being a D6, of course. Here we go with the roll. We got a 1. That makes it easy. Jacob Siegel. Or possibly Jakob. I'm not sure, but there you go, Mr. Siegel. So that's going to move you up to a 5. Scratch that out. So that's 1. Looking for more 4s. 1, 2, Oh, and that was it. So we might not have had a winner in that last batch, but we did. Okay, so now we are on to nothing but the fives. Only the fives are left. We're rolling a D4 for that. And there's a number of fives, so this, just bear with me again. And I hope you can see I'm doing this as fairly and randomly as possible, and kind of rewarding those who sent in most of the work. So we'll see how this goes. Wish me luck. Well, not me. I'm not the one having to win anything here, but that I don't mess this up. Here we go. Okay, so this is one of those pyramids where the top number is what's on. So 4 for the fives. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So Legacy 1912. You are going to be part of the final group. And then we have another die roll coming up. Number 1. Here we go. The first 5 we see. Endless V2. Endless V2 is in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. On to the next one. It is a 4. So we're going to go 1. Get rid of that. So it's 1, 2, 3, and Jake Waldman. Jake Waldman, you are in the final round. Roll again. We got a 1. So Elite Golden. Elite Golden. There you go. So that's 1. And we got to go 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go with the roll. We got a 2. And so, oh, no limit. Sorry, bud. 1. Mark Anderson. Here you go. 2, 3, 4. Our first 3 on the D4 here. So we go 1, 2. Oops, sorry. Beetleborg, you're the winner of that one. 3 and 4. We got a 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, and Duncan M. Duncan M. Go. Oh, and another 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I think that is everybody. I know this one isn't scratched out, but he's eliminated in the round of 3. All right, so we have ended up with, how many circled names do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. Well, you know, we're going to stick with the D4, I guess, and we'll do the first 4 and then the last 4. And then we'll have a roll-off with our last 2. So here we go. And we're going to do these in order, not the way I just counted them, because I kind of went up and down the list there. So it's definitely going to be in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever we got to 7. Okay, so here we go. So we got a 2. So as we go down the list, we find the circled names. We've got 1, 2. So Endless V2, you are now in the final round. So that's 1, 2, and then we have 3, 4. Now I believe we have 3 left. 1, 2, 3, and nobody on that page. So here we go. Okay, well, we got a 1. So that is Mark Anderson, I believe. Mark Anderson. So there you go, Mark. Big star and a circle there. So we have Mark Anderson and Endless V2. And we're going to use our D4 on this. And you know what? No, we're not, because we haven't used one of the big ones here. So we're going to use our D20. And let's just keep it simple. We're going to have odd, endless, even, Mark Anderson. So an odd number, endless V2 will win. Mark Anderson will win. What did I say? Odd. So odd, even. Odd, even. Here we go. And we have 18, which is even, which is Mark Anderson. Congratulations, Mark. You will be winning a large 1939 map. And Mark and Endless were two of the fellows who sent in all 5 pieces of information. So it's kind of nice that the battle came down to 2 who did all the work required. So congratulations, Mark Anderson. Thanks to everybody for all the subs. Really appreciate it. I guess it's kicking up closer to 1,600 all of a sudden. I think word got out of the of the giveaway, and I've gotten about 70 or something subs in the last week and a half. So, but you know what, folks? We don't do this, just to get numbers on the subs. We want to make sure that we're engaging the community and enriching the community. So, make sure that you're always doing what you can to help do that in your area. And some of the different ideas that people have come up with to getting people to play the games are pretty inventive. One person wrote that he gives extra money in units to new people. Here's an extra $20. Here's a couple more infantry and another sub or something. Put them wherever you want, or hang on to them till the end of the second round, then throw them on. Almost every single one of you put food. Got to have food there, which I don't disagree with. In fact, I did a video way back about a good recipe you can throw together for cheap. Didn't get a lot of love on that one, but it's a good recipe. Check it out. And what were some of the other things? People were saying, I start out with the original, like the original Axis and Allies, right there. I start with that one because it's a little less cumbersome. A lot of people use 41 to get people started because, of course, less money, fewer territories, fewer units, not as many decisions to make, and they can learn how everything works. You just don't have that pressure of trying to handle 150 units. And but if you want to go back to my last video where I did this giveaway, and I did an Axis and Allies and Zombies video, and it's really just a list of a lot of great ideas. So if you're having troubles getting people to play these great games, the historical board gaming games, or any of the Axis and Allies games, or any games, hey folks, common denominator is being fun, letting them choose the sides they want, giving them little bonuses, having food, but just make it as inviting as possible. I think it's like anything else. I think people like to interact with other people. People like to play games. It's a thing. There's some people who really, it's a tough sell. But most people like to play games. I think the reason a lot of people give up on Axis and Allies is they get bounced so hard the first couple of games that they're just not going to come back. And, unless they're real lovers of history and really go after those dice rolling games, they're just not going to stick around. So highly recommend that you just make it as fun and inviting as possible. Hey, and take an L, right? Take a loss. And if that means that they're going to come back again a couple weeks later and try it again. And hey, and then they can brag about it. And what does that hurt, right? So have a lot of fun. Enjoy the games. My son is now off at university. He's off doing higher learning, and he's a long ways away, a couple thousand miles away. So we're not able to play games right now, and I'll miss him lots. And it's gonna have to lean a little heavier on other other folks in the game group. And hey, I'll do what I can to get some more videos up on the channel. In the comments below, put up what game you would like to see played next. I do have Guadalcanal and Battle of the Bulge, but I am not an expert in those games at all. I don't know if it would be detrimental for me to do a video on those. I know Harsh Rules has done some great videos on those as to how to play. I don't think he does gameplay videos per se, maybe he does, but he does excellent how-to videos. Excellent, very good quality work there. So if you want to find out how to play, go for it. All right. Thanks again, folks. Congratulations once again to Mr. Mark Anderson on your win today. And Mark just needs you to get a hold of me and leave your comment below as to the best place to get a hold of you. And we'll connect and make sure that that map gets sent out to you. It's going to be this one. It's going to be the big one. This 1939, this gorgeous, fun map. And of course, you'll get your copy of the rules and everything for download. And I tell you, this is you're going to love this game. This is so much fun. All right, folks. As always, take care. Hug your loved ones. Let your friends know that, hey, you're so glad that they're around and playing games. Keeps them from doing crazy things. And may those dice be with you.